let's dive into a few urban legends. Cryptids that perhaps held some truth. I picked those with accounts that hold some merit, or were simply just interesting. Let's start with the Mokele-Mbembe. It's said to be a long-necked, semi-aquatic reptile around 15 to 30 feet long, with a bulky body and a tail similar to a crocodile's. Often compared to a sauropod dinosaur, it was allegedly found around the remote Lokoala swamps of the Congo. What makes this cryptid more credible is the sheer amount of sightings, supposedly 36 major accounts of note and many more smaller sightings, going back to 1776. The first documented sighting was from the French missionary Abbe Bonaventure, who reported and documented descriptions of a huge creature in the rivers, accounted by the locals. Other sightings of note include the Lieutenant Paul Gratz's incident, where in 1909 he accounted for indigenous legends of a creature by the name of Nusanga, which resembled a sauropod, leading to the modern-day dinosaur-like descriptions of the cryptid we see. And not only did he account for those legends, he supposedly saw a brontosaurus-like creature traveling along a river in the area. Around the 1970s to 1980s, several expeditions, such as Roy Mackall's, reported giant footprint findings, 1 meter in diameter, with reports of a beast attacking hippos in the area, matching those footprints. Not only are there many reports and legends, in 1983, an expedition led by a Congolese zoologist, Marcelin Ignana, reportedly saw a creature's head and neck emerge from the water in Lake Tele that matched previous descriptions, and attempted to film it, but later admitted the footage was ruined due to either having a lens cap on or incorrect camera settings. But around 1987 and 1992, 2 different Japanese film crews went to capture the footage of the beast, and supposedly they both have short videos at Lake Tele of a brontosaur-like creature. Sightings even go up to 2012, where Stephen McCullough and Sam Newton raised $29,000 off Kickstarter to fund an expedition to find the supposed dinosaur. But unfortunately, after shortly reaching the Congo, the effort seemed to have been mostly abandoned. This is one of my favorite urban legend cryptids. So many accounts spanning centuries of the supposed footage, and notably at a time when footage was harder to fake. And so many stories related to the hunts and expeditions exist today. Perhaps the Mokele-Mbembe really was one of the last accounts of a living dinosaur. There even are modern sightings, such as in March 2025, this year. Supposedly, the creature was spotted yet again. Is there a dinosaur in the Congo? From urban legends of beasts roaming the swamps, did these hold some truth? Perhaps even more evidence that there may be dinosaurs still roaming the earth. Let's talk about the Kongamato. It's described as a massive bat or pterosaur-like creature with leathery wings, sharp teeth, a red reptilian head, and many bird-to-bat-like features. Very pterodactyl-like in some cases. Its name literally translates to breaker of boats. It supposedly lives in tropical regions of Africa, particularly Zambia, the Congo, and Angola. Sightings go back to 1923, where Frank H. Mellon's book, In Witchbound Africa, he records accounts of the native terror of the Kongamato, even reporting that guides even refuse to enter certain valleys in fear of the creature. In 1942, Captain C.R.S. Pittman mentions and accounts legends of a mythical beast that inhabits the dense swamps near the Angola-Congo border. Their descriptions matched a pterodactyl. And in 1956, an engineer at Fort Rosebery, west of Lake Bangweulu, reported around 6 p.m. 2 long-tailed, narrow-headed, and toothed flying creatures. In 1957, a man was viciously attacked, and at the hospital, when asked which creature mauled him, he reportedly chose a picture that resembled a pterosaur or a pterodactyl. And even after that, there still were many accounts of fishermen and miners reportedly seeing the beast aggressively swooping down at night, attacking canoes. From urban legends of beasts stalking the tropical regions of Africa, did these people find evidence of an ancient species not yet extinct? Taking a step away from dinosaurs, we have a Bigfoot-like cryptid, the Orang Pendek, also known as the Orang Pendek, a 3 to 5 foot bipedal primate with a human-like facial structure and short brown or gray hair. For centuries, the nomads of Sumatra, near Indonesia and Malaysia, have recognized the creature as a short man forest dweller of some sort. Around 1923, Dutch settler Van Heerwaarden, while surveying the lands, encountered a hairy creature perched on a branch. He noted its dark, long hair covering its body, with long arms but noticeably short legs, and a calm, human-like face, even noting that its face was not ape-like whatsoever. Very human-like. In the 1990s, a British conservationist, Debbie Martyr, investigated the Orang Pendek, interviewing hundreds of locals, and even claimed multiple personal sightings of their own over 15 years. They described it as a relatively small, immensely strong, non-human primate, built like a boxer with immense upper body strength. It was gorgeous in color, moved bipedally, and tried to avoid being seen. Although her camera traps failed to capture anything of note, she did photograph dozens of footprint casts. Even in 2001, an expedition led by Adam Davies, an explorer, gathered fresh tracks and hair samples, which they preserved in ethanol. Actual samples of the supposed being. Dr. David Chivers, a University of Cambridge researcher who received samples, studied them and concluded the prints were from an ape-like creature, showing traits of gibbon, chimpanzee, orangutan, and even human, but not from anything known, only similar. Dr. Hans Brunner, a hair analyst, tested the hair specifically and noted it wasn't from any known primate. Even going to 2009, Adam Davies returned with a new team on a second expedition, and reportedly, team members Dave Archer and their guide Sahar saw the creature about 100 feet away in a tree, matching Debbie's previous description. Besides the numerous sightings and accounts of farmers reporting crop raids from the Orang Pendek, was this some new species of primate that stayed extremely elusive? From urban legends of some beat to even some kind of deity roaming the forests. Did these people find evidence of some forest dweller? And now for our final cryptid. This one's perhaps way more urban legend than actual cryptid, but it's still both. We are going to Australia, where we have the Bunyip, an Aboriginal water creature described as sea-like, dog-faced, and in some sightings having a long neck and flippers. often found in rivers and swamps. Descriptions of the beast heavily varied. Depictions included anything from a crocodile-headed, seal-like, duck-billed monstrosity to something that was tusked, flippered, or simply dog-faced. Starting in Aboriginal myths, serving as a guardian of sacred waters punishing those who would fish without permission. Around 1830s to the 40s, there were many sightings of strange aquatic animals in creeks and lagoons near Melbourne, Geelong, and Sydney. The legend really took off when around 1846, a malformed skull was discovered on Murrumbidgee River, and the following year being displayed at Sydney's Australian Museum and being labeled a Bunyip skull. After it was supposedly debunked to have been some deformed calf skull, it mysteriously disappeared from the museum. And later, in 1850, more reports streamed in, such as settlers seeing a large, seal-like animal basking on shore that dived when approached. Interestingly, groups of settlers reported sightings together, so not just one-offs. Around 1857, at Lake Albert, witnesses reported a black creature the size of a calf swimming in powerful strokes before submerging. And then from the 1860s forwards to even modern-day sightings, any strange occurrence near bodies of water would be attributed to the Bunyip. What happened to the skull? What's this cryptid's true description? Or was it several beasts all described as one? And why is it still being spotted? Many urban legends and folktales boil down to one title, seemingly anything aquatic and strange drawn together. Did these people see truly any new beasts? Or was this perhaps more urban legend? Anything weird around the waters might have been attributed to a Bunyip. So what did you guys think? We went from two ancient dinosaur-like cryptids steeped in urban myth and legend, and perhaps pretty real, given the supposed evidence. And we went all the way down to not only a form of Bigfoot sighting, to what perhaps, in my opinion, is an entire collection of cryptids, the Bunyip. So, again, what do you guys think? Let's take a cryptid clue.